Oilersnation After Dark begins now.
Oh, what a hockey game we got tonight down at Rogers Place. Leon's friends, family, relatives, they were in attendance, and you knew this was going to be a good one. Oilers Kings usually lives up to the hype, and tonight was no exception. Leon was incredible. Connor McDavid continues his point streak to career high levels now, 18 games in a row with a point. A night so entertaining. Of course, 60 minutes of hockey wasn't going to be enough. Of course, this went to an extra frame. And on a night when the game was scheduled to start at 8 p.m., had a Leon Draisaitl ceremony, extended the time back. You knew this one was going to take the maximum possible allotted time. And the Oilers, they take it to a shootout. I had producer Brett preparing his overtime winner. But no, we do not get that as the Edmonton Oilers fall in the shootout and fall to their Pacific Division rivals, the LA Kings, 4-3. Hello and welcome to an Oilers Nation After Dark episode that I thought was going to go one way 100%. I thought we were going to sit here, celebrate, talk about Leon, how amazing he was, the Oilers and their ability to just always take it to these LA Kings. But what do you know? Give the LA Kings credit in this one. They're coming off 2 losses in a row. A brutal loss last night, 5-1 to the Winnipeg Jets. And that's what's tough here for Oil fans is that you got LA on the second half of a back-to-back with their backup goaltender and one Anton Forsberg. This Kings team, incredibly injured, incredibly banged up, but that's what division games are all about, folks. You take the records, you throw them out. These two teams know each other incredibly well. But hello, what up, and welcome to a solo edition of Oilers Nation After Dark, brought to you by Bet365, 19 plus. Please play responsibly because whatever the moment, you know it. Say it with me. It's never ordinary. This was an excellent night for me to decide to ladder play Leon Draisaitl's goals in any time, 2+. And 3+ was such a sweat. Plus 5,000 on Bet365 for Leon to score a hat trick. I had so many opportunities. Just doesn't happen in overtime, obviously. Let's just talk about OT for 1 second because that was electric. My heart was going insane. I haven't felt like that in a minute when it comes to the Edmonton Oilers. And I said to Brett at one point, I think that means I really, really care. I was sweating, perspiring, because it just means more against division rival, against these LA Kings. And on a night with Leon's Omi, I believe is how it was described.
Oma.
I'm just disappointed that the Draisaitl family could not get the win. But in that overtime, man, McDavid, he was all over it. You had a goal review, which we'll undress it, we'll unpack it. I'm very curious how the chat feels about this one. I have an idea of how they would feel, but goes to a review. You're splitting hairs on that review of when the goalpost comes off its moorings or does the puck cross the line. It's tough, but either way, at the end of the day, the Oilers, hey, they do get the loser points, but nothing. It's not going to make me feel good about this one tonight. First things first, let's get caught up into the chat. First thing I see, Matt Snell agrees. They stole that goal from Connor McDavid. Percy says, justice for McDry. I'm also curious, how does everyone feel about Leon Draisaitl? It was his night, his world, going in on the shootout, just loading up with a clap bomb and letting it rip. It's a bold move. It's a bold decision, especially when we know and we've seen some of Leon Draisaitl's disgusting shootout moves in the past. But I'm also not going to tell Leon Draisaitl how to score on a shootout. He was feeling it. I mean, Forsberg just gets a piece of it. That one was probably labeled for the top corner, and then the Nuge gets turned away, sadly, by Forsberg in that last one. Nathan's in. We are going to go the distance this year without ever winning more than 2 games in a row. I swear. It is truly an incredible stat that 44, 45 games into the NHL season, the Oilers sitting pretty in the Pacific Division, and they've yet to win 3 hockey games in a row. Nobby spoke about it pregame. I played the clip. Tony Barr asking him, Pretty weird that you haven't won 3 in a row. Knobloch definitely took a 1,000 to diplomatically prepare his response, but it's a weird one. Nobby, I believe, also referred to the term the Oilers as average in their inability to win 3 in a row. Hate this. B-Boy Freerunner says, Ken Holland greater than Stan Bowman. I know you're kidding, but I know I'm going to see some dumb shit like that tonight on the internet. Everton, the Kings have many injuries, and we still couldn't pull it off. Ante Kopitar out of the lineup. Trevor Moore out of the lineup. Joel Armia out of the lineup. Corey Perry back in the lineup. He made his presence known, and more on him later. It's weird, the emotions I've felt in my lifetime, from absolutely despising, hating the shit out of Corey Perry to loving him to now have him being on arguably our biggest rival. But I don't feel the same hatred that I once did. I'm curious if people in the chat feel the same way. LP, why does Leon keep trying this? At this point, I would rather see Trent Frederick shooting. LP, come here. You're lying. You would not rather see Trent Frederick come out on the shootout. It's Leon Draisaitl. We don't tell 97 and 29 how to score goals. That's something I'm not going to do. Vinny says, hey, at least we have points in 3 straight. There we go. That's right. Brett, give me a cup here. Right now, also, I do believe Zachary Lang, news director at Oilers Nation, will join us eventually from home. Had to discuss it. He's a Bears fan. Brett's a Bears fan.
Yeah, buddy, fuck them Packers.
You've earned it. I couldn't
Bear
believe
down.
the finish to that football game. We're here to talk Oilers. We'll talk that later. It was nuts. Buff Snelda says Will Ferrell paid off the refs. That's right. Doesn't he have he has full ref attire as well? Pats fan, this is now 8 times that we have failed to win 3 games in a row. You know what they say? 9th time's a charm. Nobody has ever said that before, except me right now. It's been Blazing Phoenix. It's a sick name. Leon doing a slap shot when he had a disgusting shootout earlier in the year is very him. People, it is what it is. It is what it is. Mark's in, just a simple in Facebook. Fark.
Fark.
Fark. Psychos. That OT was a barn burner. Once again, that was entertaining as it comes. This was a playoff game being played in the middle of January, the beginning of January, I might even add. Davin says, frustrating loss, terrible game for a couple of veterans. Yep, hard to see. Really consistent offense, I'd say, outside of 97 and 29, which it's been consistent for the Oilers. Then Dayton's in. This team is straight up allergic to winning 3 in a row. Buff Snelda, Toronto gets the jeans. And then a couple super chats in here. Reminder, your super chats are in support of the Ben Stelter Foundation, cause that does incredible things for families who are going through incredibly tough times. And it's Rusty, $5, kicking it off. I thought the NHL wanted more goals. Davo's OT goal should have counted. Shootouts are the worst. At least we got a point. LA is number 1 on my hate list. For me, it's the same thing where I hate that I'm bringing up the NFL right now, but in my opinion, if you're going to an extra frame, and this is not, the Oilers lost that hockey game, it goes to a shootout. Those are the fucking rules. Get over it. But just to continue this discussion, I feel like it's just play until someone scores at 3-on-3. Don't put any time on the clock. In my opinion, in the NFL, in the regular season, they play for 10 minutes and then it goes to a tie. No, just go until someone actually wins the game. I don't know why we're overthinking all this. I get shootouts are entertaining. I remember Sam Gagner tearing it up when it first came into the NHL, but I don't know. I'm kind of out on it. Tammy, $10. I have big feelings about that disallowed goal. Big ones. Well, points in 3 games at least. Hearts, stick taps for Ben, always. Brett, I'm curious, do we have the review of that goal?
No, we don't.
Okay, that's all good.
Sportsnet didn't post it either.
Yeah, because they know that we would be riding and we'd be bringing it down to Toronto. Soggy Corpse, $2. The 2 wins, 1 loss, strikes again, points a point. I mean, hey, this is a loser mentality. This is loser talk. But if you told me the Oilers are going to win 2 out of every 3 games for the rest of the season, I know that's not how it works, but I'm frustrated too, guys. It's tough losing. Also, this is 10 pounds? Rupees? Rubles? What is this? Somebody in the chat, let me know what currency
I always
is.
get it confused. It's either euros or pounds. I always get it confused because pounds is also like...
Either way, that's more than 10 Canadian dollars, right?
Probably.
Yeah, clap it up to Maximus. Says 1 point is better than no points. Cup, yeah. And then first things first, before we unpack, I do want to give a special shout out to Derek Dodge Edmonton. This is the beginning of a new chapter at Derek Dodge as they are under new ownership, bringing a fresh approach, new energy, and a renewed focus on customer experience. Shout out Derek. And right now, Dirk, they have an unbeatable deal with every vehicle purchase. Get this, Brett. You will receive a trip for two to Las Vegas. I repeat, with every vehicle purchase, you will receive a trip for two to Las Vegas. Leave the lot with your new vehicle and flights and accommodations for a trip for two to Vegas. That is an unbeatable deal.
Actually insane.
The first time I read this in the ad copy, I triple taked, may have sent an email out that said, is that legit? Also,
Can I claim?
Does that apply to me? Should I be in the market for a new vehicle?
Does that apply to me? Is this where I get my first car?
To this ad copy is just fact. This is written.
Might be where I get my new car, my first car.
Ooh,
hey.
Shout out Derek Dodge. They're doing awesome things. But let's kick it off with some headlines. Brett, give me some tunes. I love that we find a way to work this in every single time, even if you people don't like it out there. So I just want to kick it off. Rivalry game, a big one between the Edmonton Oilers and the LA Kings, where it's been well discussed. The Oilers had yet to play these Kings in the first half of the NHL season. They got this one, a matchup in February in LA, and then a late one, April 11th, against these LA Kings, which may be big in the Pacific Division standings. Now, they haven't seen each other in a minute, really since Game 6, the handshake line. Shout out that memory. But in this one, the Oilers are going one way. They've won 2 games in a row. The LA Kings down, having lost 2 in a row. And yep, you look at their records, you look at what's going on, the firepower, the injuries to the LA Kings, the goaltender. They had a backup in Forsberg tonight. But the argument that I want to make is that rivalry games, division games, you throw out the records, you throw it all out, because these two teams are so familiar with one another. 4 playoff series in each of the last 4 seasons, and they hate each other's guts. There's no surprises when it comes to these two teams. They know their systems, they know their tendencies, they know what buttons to push mentally and physically against one another, and this looked like a playoff matchup out there tonight. It was back and forth, exhilarating, exciting. Overtime was absolutely unbelievable. And the LA Kings, give them credit. After losing to the Winnipeg Jets 5-1, you could see this one being, you have to take the bus all the way from Winnipeg over to Edmonton in less than 24 hours. And you have to sit there, watch Leon Draisaitl's 1,000th point ceremony and watch this team celebrate once again in front of your faces. But they were able at the end of the day to get the win. I just think when you're playing this squad, the margins for error are so slim, no matter what. We've seen blowouts for both sides here and there, but the LA Kings were motivated in this one. It was incredibly weird seeing Corey Perry on the other side of this battle tonight. And obviously, of course, he gets on the score sheet in this one in the most predictable revenge anytime goal that I have seen in a minute, getting it done a way that we have seen him do multiple times in an Oilers uniform, a garbage goal, rebound on the power play. This one was tough, right? Because this was the Darnell Nurse penalty where he had, in my opinion, plenty of room to win that race to the puck against Adrian Kempe. They battle, takes the penalty, and then boom, before you know it, the LA Kings answer back right off the faceoff dot. And nothing pretty here. And there he is, the worm, just finding a way, scoring, I believe, his 10th goal of the NHL season. So once again, this dude is on pace for another, 20-ish goals, I will say, on the year. I get all the people in the chat. I saw it on Twitter the entire night, bitching about Corey Perry. Why is he not an Oiler? Let's not forget what happened in the offseason. He's at a price that the Oilers are not willing to pay. I agree. They never should have paid. Once again, that's what you get with Corey Perry, and it makes me wonder what age this guy is going to be able to play to, because, yeah, all of his natural abilities, his speed, everything is definitely slowed down. But those intangibles, that IQ right in front of the net, that's just something he's able to do. Brett, I'm curious, though. You're here with me as well. It's like similar to the Packers and the Bears. I can't believe I keep coming back to it. But you know what I mean when I say rivalry games, division games. This could even apply to the Calgary Flames, where we've seen the Edmonton Oilers lose games this season. It applies to the Canucks. Do you agree that teams just know each other? It's going to be a rock fight out there. This sucks. Once again, the Oilers could have played better. They were getting They were getting outworked at certain points, but at the end of the day, this is why you play several division games a year, and these ones are hella entertaining.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, these guys have played against each other in hard games. Like they have been playoff games, must-win games. Like there is blood, sweat, and tears. There it is. Blood, sweat, and tears. Blood, sweat, and tears that have gone into these battles in the past. And now it doesn't matter if it's game 1 or if it's game 86 of the season, game 87, whatever it may be. These guys do not like each other. And I
might even say hate.
It's fantastic. It's great. And like Kempe and Bouchard going at each other, just like a quick flyby. And just give them a stick, give them a flyby, just fuck you, get out of here. And just, all right, they're gone. And it's just those little things. It's awesome. I love it.
Once again, the odds we see there's a good mushy middle this year in both the Eastern and Western Conference. So how confident am I that we're going to see the LA Kings for a 5th straight year in the NHL playoffs? I would say less than years previous, but once again, anything's possible. 2 more games against them coming down at the end of the season. They're going to be entertaining. I see Ryan said Perry wanted more money. The Oilers did not want to give him. I think that's absolutely it. Frank, he said Perry could have stayed for like league min. He chose to leave, guys. Absolutely. That was a big point of contention. I remember in the offseason, even me saying it, you're 40 plus years. You've been in the NHL for how long? And what is it? Do you actually want to win? Are you just concerned about the money? But it's also, hey, it's a good opportunity. I can't fault Corey Perry. He's got 10 fucking goals on the season here. And then I don't know how to say this name. Says Perry is a huge miss. Then Mr. Burns is in, Brett. She says also nickname submissions for Connor Ingram, which is something we debated all night down at the office and at Dog Patch this evening. I don't know what to yell when Connor Ingram makes an unbelievable save. It was obviously Stu. I just screamed picks at some points. Our pal Calvert. It's tough here with Connor Ingram. She presented Captain Crayola for the design on his helmet, which I love, by the way. Big fan of alliteration. That's why my son will be named Brady Bordato. Shout out TB12, the GOAT.
That's not the only reason.
Fair enough. Call me out on it, as it is. But Connor Ingram in this hockey game moves to 3-2-1 in his Oilers career now. He stops 27 of 30 for an even 900 save percentage, which now means 5 of his 6 appearances in an Oilers uniform. Oh, wait, they did 28 out of 31. Oh, maybe we are above 900 like that. Who knows? We know this tends to change from time to time. And you look at it, negative 0.27 goals below expected, which to me, I thought Connor Ingram, once again, it's the same thing. I kind of sit here every single night and I just say he was solid in this hockey game. He gave the Oilers a chance to win. I feel calm, cool, composed with him in the crease. I thought he had some good rebound control. And overall, through his 6 appearances, I do not have many complaints with Connor Ingram's game and where he is. You go back to the fact that this is only 6 games. We've had plenty of guys on ONE. Devin Dubnik's mentioned it before. Rob Schremp, whether player, goalie. You got to give someone at least 10 appearances before you know what you totally have in them. But through 6 here, what I've seen from Connor Ingram has me feeling pretty good. Obviously, we heard earlier today, one Tristan Jarry was out on the ice this morning for a full, not a mid, not a small, not an optional, a full practice with the Edmonton Oilers. He was out on the ice, also showing off his new mask that he's got, which you know the Oilers are going to be wearing their cream jerseys in the next week or two. And Chris Knobloch mentioned that we could expect to see Tristan Jarry back in the crease as soon as this upcoming week. Knock on wood, there he is. Get a look at it, Tom and Jerry. And I think we all know this has been an open, healthy competition between Connor Ingram and one Calvin Pickard. And through this stretch, I believe it was December 16th, in which Tristan Jarry got injured. I think for me personally, I can only speak for me, I've seen enough of a sample size. Connor Ingram is absolutely the choice to be made. And no, the Oilers aren't going to stick around and mess around with 3 goalies, especially when Jarry will be back before the Olympic break. And there's no like roster freeze. So if you are under the salary cap during the Olympic break, you can accrue some money. So I think the Oilers are going to be highly motivated to get under that cap threshold and see what they can do ahead of the trade deadline. But just another game, Connor Ingram. Yeah, he gets the loss. I'm still calling him Connor Ingram. Graham Blam, thank you, man. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
Bam, bam, thank you, man.
And then we got guys like Jason in here who already says F. Jari injury prone. Brother, what are we doing here? He's been on the team for what, 2 weeks, a week? I understand that it wasn't ideal and the way this went down and we can all yell injury prone. But if you're an Oilers fan, the Oilers have made their bet. It's the same thing like with Trent Frederick. I'd rather have Trent Frederick find a way to play his game and get out of the slump than trade him. The Oilers have made a move here. Tristan Jarry is going to be the goaltender that's tied to Connor McDavid for the rest of his Oilers contract. So you want Tristan Jarry to figure it out. You want all the healthy, good goalies as possible in your organization. That is not very, I haven't said it in a while. That's not fair to Oilers. That's not fair to boys. You didn't like that. Brett didn't like that. I said that. No.
Moving
Did
on.
you used to say Ferda a lot back in the day?
Oh my God,
Way
I
too
still
much.
do.
I was like the age group.
I was a baseball kid who went to school with like 6 different sports academies in 2010, in the 2010s. Yeah, fuck yeah, I said Ferda. I still say Ferda.
I still do. As clearly was just evidence right there. And then the third thing we got to mention in tonight's hockey game, Leon Draisaitl with his family in attendance. His mother, his father, his sister, his grandmother, I believe is the German term that he was using, and including the beautiful Bowie out on the ice. He completely stole the show pregame. It was absolutely adorable. That is one of the cutest dogs I have ever seen. Shout out Celeste. She was out there taking care of Bowie as well. The hug, the embrace here between Leon and Bowie, just, it's absolutely beautiful. I love how the Oilers keep their dogs involved. Remember we saw Cody Cece's dog, Hugo, win the race years ago. Shout out Hugo.
Troy Stetcher's last year.
That's right.
Whose dog I'm also pretty sure is a model, like a model dog.
What do you know?
Sick.
Shout out
He can be
Stetch.
too.
Shout out Stetch. But then the embrace, you saw Connor McDavid and Leon give a hug. He gets presented with his stick. The crowd goes nuts, and this night was about Leon Draisaitl. Yes, the Oilers lose in overtime. They still get the point. But look at the stat line here from Leon. You just knew with his family in attendance, if his grandmother's going to be there, you had to bet Leon anytime goal. It was plus 1. It was plus 125 on Bet365, and it cashed early on. He was able to score a second one. Look at that time on ice, 27-27. Obviously inflated because of the 5-minute overtime period. He had 6 shots on goal. He was all over the place. I had bet him 2 points in the bankroll, anytime goal in the bankroll, and then I laddered 1 goal, 2 goals, 3 goals. 2 goals was plus 700. 3 goals was plus 5,000. So I was sweating it out in the third period and overtime for one Leon Draisaitl. Either way, it's just beautiful. And it's crazy to say it for a guy like these guys like Connor and Leon on a night that's based around them. And we all know it. He reached 1,000 points like almost a month ago. We had this one circled. Saturday night, LA Kings rivalry game. The fact that you're confident in Leon Draisaitl, that he's going to show up in those big moments. He's going to score once. He might score twice. And then for the most part in his career, always shows up in those big moments and finds a way to get it done. You could tell he had a different energy this evening. He was highly, highly motivated. Kind of made me think back to like, you're playing sports as a kid, and if you had your girl in the audience or like you were playing in front of your school at lunch, you were always more motivated to show off in front of your friends and family.
The girl was there, locked the fuck in.
Imagine Bowie was there.
I wouldn't even
did that for
talk to
Bowie.
her. Yeah, good facts actually.
Facts. Brett, so you let me know when our guest is ready, and I can bring him
He's
in.
here. He's ready.
Oh, let's bring him in then, and we'll do it for the good, the bad, and the oily. Brought to you by Oodle Noodle. Download the app today. Available at the Google Play Store, the App Store. You can earn loyalty rewards points when you're up there. It's modern day couponing, in my opinion. And then when you're there, you can order any premium regular box. They will add for $2, 2 green onion cakes, 5 spring rolls, or 6 deep fried wontons. And quickly, this actually applies to our guest. The Leftorium is in. Shout out. That's a Simpsons reference. $18. This is now a Chicago Bears post-game show. And then Deepal, that is Zach, I assume. Deepal's then in with $69.99 and says, still a cup. Yeah.
The Bears.
And before
Bears.
with the good, the bad, the oily. Brett, Zachary, the floor is yours. Obviously, the Chicago Bears were successful in tonight's playoff game against a rival Green Bay Packers, who, I mean, if you're not aware of the NFL, it's basically, actually, I mean, it's like the LA Kings beating the Edmonton Oilers. It's banging your head against the wall. He has a cheese grater with him as well. Zach, the floor is yours. That game was insane. Caleb Williams, second half, ice in his veins. Give me a vibe check.
Years off of my goddamn life, Bordsy. I cannot believe it. Listen, my fiance is not a huge sports girl. I'm working on her. We're trying to get her there, but she's not quite there. When I found out that the Bears and Packers were playing in the wild card round, I said, babe, listen up. This is one of the most important games I have ever watched in my life. I'm still not over the 2011 NFC Championship game. Damn you, Jay Cutler and BJ Raji. This was huge. And admittedly, I was not feeling great at the end of that first half there, right? I was not feeling great. But I had this little voice in the back of my head, and it was like, I could hear it. It was Bordsy's voice. Live bet the comeback. Live bet the comeback. And I did. I hammered the comeback. I took him at plus 1,100. Hope will never die, God damn it. I am so excited about this Bears victory. An amazing night for my Chicago Bears.
We named our puppy Bear for the Chicago Bears. Taylor loved the name Bear, and she came up and was like, I was like, I don't know. It was my parents' first dog name. I was like, I don't know. It's weird. And she goes, okay, listen, after about an hour, she goes, your favorite football team is the Chicago Bears. So we can go with it's the Bears. Immediately I went, sold. Her name is Bear. Ever since then, the Chicago Bears have been on this goddamn run. I mean, this becomes blood now.
You don't
boys.
make the rules; you just follow them.
And he's wearing the Brian Urlacher jersey. I'm wearing the Walter Payton jersey. My dad grew up a Walter Payton fan. He made me a Bears fan with Brian Urlacher. Oh, the Bears! The Bears are back, baby! Bear down!
I know I understand this is an Edmonton Oilers post-game show. I just had to let my two boys get it out. They've deserved it. They've earned it. And I hope the exact same way tomorrow night when the Oilers take on the LA Chargers. I hope, Zachary, that I don't feel like the Edmonton Oilers do tonight, losing their division rival in the LA Kings. This one, it was entertaining as all hell. That overtime had my heart jumping out of my chest, probably like at the BPM you sent me during the fourth quarter of the Bears-Packers game. Thought, Zach, maybe go attend some medical attention, but you're here with us, and I appreciate that. The Oilers, Leon Draisaitl, he was incredible. McDavid, once again, extends his point streak to 18 games. But at the end of the day, I'm not sitting here as pleased as I would like to be. Yes, they get the loser point. They get points in 3 straight games. But once again, Zachary, we sit here, the Oilers, the 8th time this season they have attempted to win 3 games in a row, and they have yet to do so. Zach, I just want a quick vibe check. How you feeling after that L to the LA Kings?
Yeah, that's a tough one for the Oilers. I almost called them Bears.
Happens.
Tough one for the Oilers for sure. Admittedly, like the first 2 periods of the game, I kind of had like 2 eyes on the Bears game and like half an eye on the Oilers game. So I was kind of following what was happening, but I watched that 3rd period and that overtime frame. And yeah, that was a tough one, right? I mean, it was great to see him capitalize on that power play with McDavid's goal late there. They had the 5-on-3. That would have been the opportune time to get another one, right? But it feels like another opportunity squandered for this Oilers team, who somehow still, 45 games into the regular season now, have not got a 3-game winning streak. And I honestly think it's pretty indicative of this Edmonton Oilers season as a whole. I mean, I've written about it lots at Oilersnation.com so far this season. This is a team that is still kind of almost trying to find their way. And it felt like that again here tonight, right? Like, what an overtime period. I mean, it was undoubtedly electric, right? Back and forth, the whole frame. Ingram had some big stops. Forsberg had some big stops. I still cannot believe that they stood with the no goal call on McDavid there. That was absolutely bonkers to me, because McDavid wasn't even interfering with Forsberg when the puck crossed the line. I don't know how they saw that one any differently. I actually pulled up the NHL Situation Room through the media portal that I have access to, because I'm waiting to listen to it. I want to hear what the explanation was for this, because it just doesn't make any sense to me, right? Ultimately they're not able to capitalize, even with that 29-second power play off of a pretty cheap hit from Quentin Byfield on Evan Bouchard, right? They can't capitalize there, and then it's the Oilers in the shootout, right? I'm not going to disparage his name because it was a great night, 2-goal performance, 1,000-point ceremony. He's got Omi in the stands all the way from Germany. Bowie's on the ice. Celeste is out there, but I hate the slap shot in the shootout, man. Like, to me, it is like, it's almost like the ultimate kind of cop-out move. It doesn't work more often than it does work. And Draisaitl's a guy who's got like one of the most lethal wrist shot snapshots in the entire NHL, right? I understand, he's maybe not a great dangler or a stick handler in tight in the way that, a guy like McDavid is, for example. But I would have liked to have seen something a little bit different than a slap shot there. Again, I'm not going to, dunk on the guy or disparage him here, because it was a great performance. The reason it was a shootout was because of what Draisaitl was able to do. But in that moment, I just wasn't really a fan of that, right? So, they get a point. It's the LA Kings. You hate the LA Kings. That doesn't change after tonight. That's, you can say that for sure, right? But yeah, I think, again, kind of indicative of what their season has been as a whole, with these wild up and downs we continue to see this team on.
Yeah, it's truly a riddle, enigma, whatever you want to say about the Oilers and their inability to, string these together, because it's been a positive season. They're sitting in a good spot in the Pacific Division, but 45 games in, unable. And then the thing about Leon, Zach, I come out at the end of the day, once again, I'll never tell 97-29 what to do. That was just straight rock star shit from Leon Draisaitl, because if he buries that one, that place fucking explodes. His grandmother jumps out of her chair, and we're all sitting here going, of course Leon was able to do that. Unfortunately, doesn't go down that way.
New Gaetan Haas meme, question mark?
Hey, who knows?
He was fucking tight to that guy.
I see Ryan's in says, amen, amen. Dre says, thank you, Zach. Amanda says, it's a waste of a shot. And then to add on to what you were just mentioning there about the disallowed goal, I'm incredibly confused by it. I don't want to sit here and, I hate being the guy in the post-game show that sits here and bitches about Toronto and the referees, because at the end of the day, if you were supposed to win the game, you would have won the game. But we did get a little catch-up with Chris Knobloch, some sound in the room, brought to you by Swiss Donair, open for 25 years and now open 7 days a week. The pride of the North Side, Swiss Donair. They're available, they're open, and they are amazing. Brett, let's take a listen to Chris Knobloch talking about that disallowed goal.
I thought it should have counted. I thought he was driving the net, and don't usually see that turned over, but I don't know. I thought he just drove the puck around the pad and beat him. I don't think there was any interference that caused that. Connor drove it wide, put it around him, and then there was some contact, but the puck was already by him, hit the post off him, and then went in. So but usually whatever the call's on the ice is usually what stands up. It's usually that's what happens. So
I thought it was a goal. I also thought it was a goal, Chris Knobloch, for all those reasons you just mentioned. I didn't think there was contact or that much contact either way, but was it conclusive to overturn, as obviously it was called no goal on the ice? That's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. But let's kick it off with the good in this one. And I think this one, obvious as shit. We went with Leon Draisaitl on a night that they celebrate his 1,000 points in the NHL. He decides to score not once, but twice. Absolutely beautiful. The one, Brad, I want to take a look. Let's take a look at the first one. And then the second one is the one that really, really gets me going. But here, Leon Draisaitl finding a way to get it done. This one was the one behind the net where Anton Forsberg left a little bit of a shit burger for his defense partner down here. And then Pods comes in, absolutely lays the body. There's Kasperi Kapanen, scoops it up immediately and puts it on Leon's stick. I mentioned this during the game to Brett, Bo, and intern Tristan, that when you think of this second line with Pods, Kapanen, and Draisaitl, That play right there is exactly what I imagined. Pod's coming in heavy on the forecheck, just blows up a dude behind the net. Kasperi Kapanen retrieves puck, immediately looks up. Where is Leon? He is the trigger man, and it's in the back of the net. But the second goal, Brett, if we could roll this one as well, this is just set play off the draw. The shit we see Leon do multiple times this season, where wins the draw back to Evan Bouchard and then goes beelining right to his office. And it's that flip of the hips, immediately ready for the feed. Great awareness, patience from Bouchard not to feed that one over until Leon is ready. And that was chef's kiss. That was poetry in motion on the ice. It was just the stuff that only 29 can, like, look at that solo angle of just him on that ISO cam. It's unbelievable stuff. They don't get the W tonight, Zach, but Leon Draisaitl should be very proud of his game in front of friends and family.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, 2 great goals from Draisaitl tonight. And, you know, they're both kind of similar too. Like these just like wild almost swings at the puck, right? Like even on that second one there, like his body is almost facing the Oilers zone when he fires that shot. Like just a ridiculous goal. I don't know. He's just unbelievable, right? He's so good. I don't know what more you can say about him. Just every single night he's out there giving it his all. Just another great performance from him. Honorary good tonight, Chicago Bears coming back against the Green Bay Packers.
Go Bears! And then an honorary bad will be the Packers, and we will find a way to work this in. Brett, that's hilarious. I was just looking at this, and I was going to say, for Leon, I'm going to go with stupendous. I'm going to go with stupendous tonight. That's my choice. That's what I'm going to go with. For Connor McDavid, I already pre-chose super eminent. That is also a partial definition of preeminent, which means above all the rest. I Googled all this. Zach knows. He's a writer. He understands.
Yeah.
Also, we mentioned there, Kasperi Kapanen, that beautiful feed he makes over to Leon Draisaitl. He has been a breath of fresh air since returning to the lineup. He has 3 points in 3 games since returning. And I think with the way he's looked on that second line, and basically at the end of the day, whoever Leon wants on his line probably stays on Leon's line, but there's no reason not to be happy with Kasperi Kapanen's game. He caught up with the media post-game as well, talking about where he's at since returning from injury. Let's take a listen.
Yeah, confidence is great. I'm honestly a little surprised about how good I feel. I think whenever you're out that long, it always takes some time to kind of get into the games. But ever since that first game, I felt pretty good, and I think today was probably felt the best I've felt so far. So I just got to keep doing that and keep my confidence high, and hopefully our line will just keep producing.
Haircut, Kasperi Cheeks Kapanen. Clean shaven, Kasperi Cheeks Kapanen, and it's working for him right now. Once again, he's been awesome, and just I'm pretty sure I've said this after every game he's been back. There's no other description. He's a breath of fresh air in this Oilers lineup. The speed he brings, the physicality, the skill that he has. I still can't believe the Oilers picked this guy up off of waivers last year, and basically since he's joined, he has been a constant in the Oilers forward group. With good comes bad. We went with the inability to win 3 games in a row. It is truly baffling that 45 games into the season, the Oilers have yet to do it. And especially tonight, this is as good an opportunity as you're going to get. The LA Kings, second half of a back-to-back, backup goaltender. Kopitar's injured. Trevor Moore's injured. Joel Armia is injured. But they find a way to drop this one on home ice in front of Leon's friends and family. The only positive to the bad is that they do get points in 3 in a row. So I will positive spin zone with that one. But we all know it. We've discussed it ad nauseum this season. The Oilers, they can't find a way to get 3 in a row. And to be frank with you, I don't want to focus on that. So let's move now to the Oily. And we went with the shootout. And the Leon Draisaitl attempted slap shot in this one. You could take this conversation where, Zach, do you agree with me? I was ranting about this before. I don't know if you were listening, that it's not the reason the Oilers lost. I'm not bitching. Just take the shootout out. Just go 3-on-3 until somebody scores a goal. NFL overtime, just play until somebody gets the lead. I get if you have to go back and forth, whatever. Just no ties, no skill, or not, what do I call this?
A skills
challenge, skills showdown, whatever. Yeah. I hate it. I don't like it. But obviously, if the Oilers had won in the shootout, I'd be sitting here going, this is so sick. This is so awesome. It's It is what it is.
This, sorry, just before you jump in, Zach, this also has like the what's the word I'm like, context, the context of like overtime as well, like overtime and
We'll
shootout.
go extra time because
Extra time.
You talk about overtime. That was oily as shit. Hey Zach, that was. Did your heart? No, there's no way your heart rate got higher than the Bears game. You can't top that.
It was dangerously high during the Bears game. Let's just be real here. I was running laps around my living room. I'm a big fella. I don't move very well these days. So let me tell you, a little concerning there. But yeah, I'm ready to abolish the shootout. Listen, 20 years ago when I had a few less gray hairs than I do now, I loved the shootout. I thought it was a blast. I thought it was a really cool, fun thing. But it feels like we've progressed past the time for the need of a shootout. 3-on-3 is electric, man. Make it 10 minutes. And I did hear what you were saying before, right? Just let him go. Maybe bring back the tie. Who cares? Like, I think we just need to move away from the shootout here because at the end of the day, it does just become a skills competition. I think it's time to abolish the shootout.
Just go till someone scores. I don't even want time on the clock. It's 3-on-3. That is the most exciting that NHL hockey gets is 3-on-3. And I get people don't like it sometimes because it's not the true game. Hey, it is what it is. You need to find a winner at the end. That's the quickest way to do it. I'm out on shootouts.
I didn't even watch a shootout. I was over all around the office just trying to get us set up. Like, genuinely, I didn't care. I was like, well, it's, I guess, a win or a loss. But that genuinely, this decision does not tell you how this game went at all.
That's true. Hey, it is what it is. Going to play them several more times. Also, the LA Kings, had they lost in the shootout, that would have been their 11th loser point of the season. They have been living in the extra frame so far this season. That'll do it for the good, the bad, and the oily. Brought to you by Oodle Noodle. Let's go now. I'm curious, who was wearing the jeans tonight? Brought to you by Wilhauk Jeans Jerky. Only the finest tasting meat products earn the Wilhauk name. Made from 100% Alberta beef. Their jerky is aged, seasoned, smoked, and marinated to savory perfection. They gladly fill orders of any size, and you, that's right, you can find their jerky, sausage, and other products out of their Leduc location. For more information and to get your jerky on, head on over to WilhaukBeefJerky.com. Throw it in the chat. Who do you think is deserving of wearing the jeans? The more I keep mulling it over, Brett, if I am going to play in the Jasper Pond Hockey Tournament, I might have to slip on some jeans just for 1 point, just to commit to the bit while I'm out there on the ice. Dre, he says, refs had the jeans. Refs, jeans to the situation rooms. Bo, the Sticks wore the jeans tonight. Did you notice as well? I don't know, chat. Maybe you guys can help me out with this. There was an abundance of rogue Sticks flying all over the ice tonight, including Oilers and Kings players. They were just getting knocked out of hands left, right, and center. Refs having to pick them up, and not even broken sticks. Just straight up drop sticks out of their hands. It was definitely an ad out there on the ice, and made pucks jumping around a little bit more. For me and the jeans, it's tough. Normally it would be Alec Regula, but thoughts on the Oilers decor? I could say that. I mean, we discussed it, Brett, during the game. We went, what do we think of the new pairings? I went, I haven't really noticed them. So thumbs up, I would think, in that situation. Zach, what jump out to you besides the NHL situation room in Toronto for the jeans?
Yeah, I don't really have much more beyond that, but I think, a really obvious jeans performer tonight, Jordan Love. He was wearing them in the second half tonight.
Yep.
Looked like shit out there. Go Bears.
Go Bears.
Jordan Love on that final play. Give it up for the Bears. Jordan Love on that final play where he was trying to get it to the end zone. That was the most awkward, ugly looking. He was fumbling snaps unlike the last drive. That was fraud.
I thought that incompletion that they called right before was a fumble. I did too. Yeah. I don't know about that, but I have a very obvious jeans, guys. I don't know how we haven't brought this up, but how you can be a 30-year-old man named Mikey. I think the fact that Mikey Anderson still gets his paychecks, and the paycheck says to Mikey Anderson is fucking nuts. Mikey.
Yeah, he's definitely tops of the hate list for me when it comes to the LA Kings. However, I will say I've got a riser in the LA Kings hate rankings right now for me in one Sam Hellenius. I don't know what it is about that dude. I'm not down with it. I don't like him. He was talking mad shit all game long. He's obviously a physical fourth line grinder style player. All the respect to you. At one point, I referred to him as mini childhood Corey Perry because he's got a little bit of that paleness going on, and he was just a chirpy bastard. He's a big guy. Don't get me wrong, but he had multiple times tonight where I was, would somebody just go punch that dude in the mouth right now? If I can't do it, Darnell, can you go do it? I don't know. It was something about that. And then obviously Mikey Anderson. There's just you said all you can say about him, Brett. A lot of it, jeans, NHL situation room battle. Doughty wears the jeans because he's on Team Canada and Bouch isn't. That's all. Also, David and Doughty like chopping it up, kind of joking with one another there at the end of the game. I get your boys. I fucking hate that. I hate it so much. I get it. You're about to be teammates in a month. Drew Doughty is so up here in the NHL respect rankings and all that he gets it anywhere, but he doesn't have it from me, Dan. So I'll leave it at that. What else we got here? What else do we got, Brett, that I'm forgetting about?
Voicemails, son.
Oh, Borges Bankroll. First things first.
Oh, that too.
Let's talk about the money that we wagered on Bet365. 19 plus. Please play responsibly. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. Tomorrow, a massive Sunday football afternoon, evening, morning, 11 a.m., 2:30, and then 6 p.m. for the New England Patriots taking on the LA Chargers, who they're also on fraud watch as far as I am concerned. Bert, throw it up for me. Another night, another 2 out of 3 performance from Aaron Bordato. It is unbelievable. I can't hit the middle one lately. It's whatever one I put in the middle on this graphic continues to swing and miss. We knew it was Leon's world. I should have just made the Leon Draisaitl parlay. Leon 2+ points hits. Leon anytime goal hits. Leon 2+ goals actually hit. And then Jack Roslovic needed 2+ shots on goal. And tonight he finished with 0 on the evening. Actually, Zachary, that brings me maybe to that third line. I'm curious your thoughts. They were all around it in the last one Thursday night against the Winnipeg Jets. We talked on pre-gaming how I think that third line of Roslovic, Howard, Savoy, they're like they were nearing their breakout game, that the offense might start to come for them. Tonight, definitely not as good of a performance as we've seen in the last couple. Just trying to see here what some of their underlying numbers were on the evening. Savoy, there's so many people on here. Okay, well, I continue to look for this. Oh, there it is. Expected goals for percentage of 34.61. So that definitely matches the eye test that I saw out on the ice tonight. Ike Howard, stuff. PP2 doesn't get that much opportunity to go out there with the man advantage, and he took a penalty early on in this hockey game. Zachary, thoughts on that third line? Obviously, it wasn't their best game. I still think the Oilers should keep them together and let them try and figure it out here with Uncle Jack Roslovic down the middle. But thoughts on Uncle Jack and the kids?
Yeah, gonna be totally brutally honest with you. I did not watch enough of the game tonight to really comment on how well they played. Just box score hunting here, looking at the underlying numbers. You don't like to see the low expected goal share there. They were outshot 4-3, not terrible on that front. I think this is a trio that's probably going to take a little bit of time to kind of gel here, right? I think the Oilers need to kind of have some patience here. Because the nice thing is that your top line is set, right? McDavid, Hyman, Nuge, there's no need to turn that around. That second line looks legit, right? I mean, Kasperi Kapanen, 4 points in 3 games played since he's come back from injury. Great assist on Leon Draisaitl's goal. Second straight game where he's had a beautiful apple on a Draisaitl goal. So you love to see that, right? Neither Podkolzin or Kapanen are centermen. So you can't really bump one of them down to that third line unless you want to move Savoy to the middle of the ice. We've seen him up the middle in some very brief stints. I'm just not sure if it's the spot for him here on this Edmonton Oilers team. So as far as I'm concerned, let it rest, let it breathe a little bit. Let's see these guys over, a little bit of a stretch of time here, because the upcoming schedule, it's solid, all things considered, for the Oilers, right? They go on the road, coming up here on Monday, Tuesday against Chicago and Nashville. They're going to be wearing the cream jerseys for both of those games. So that's going to be pretty fun to see. They got the Islanders, they got the Canucks, the Blues, the Devils, the Penguins, some teams in there that are really struggling. So I want to see them kind of stick with these guys for another week or so here, right? Because we know Uncle Rico's not going to be back till after the Olympic break, right? So they got to kind of see what they got here because they don't really have a ton of other options at this point in time, unless they go out and try and swing a trade. I don't necessarily think that's going to be happening here either, because at the end of the day, the Oilers need to get out of salary cap hell. They're in trouble right now. So they got to figure out a way to move Andrew Mangiapane's contract here. So as far as I'm concerned, let it breathe. Let's see what we can get from these guys over a larger sample size. I'm
with Percy, who says definitely keep them together. And I kind of discussed it, throughout the entire week with that trio. I think really Jack Roslovic's longevity on that third line, to me, depended on how well Kasperi Kapanen does in the top six. We've heard Nobby mention it. You need to play your best players with your best. So if Leon had a little bit of a dead weight on his right wing, you might be forced to bring Roslovic back up into that spot. But with the way Cheeks is playing, you can let those three, Roslovic, Howard, and Savoy, marinate on that third line. Also, this month, we got it right here of January, the Oilers play a lot of hockey games, all right? So I think there's some favorable matchups here. Chicago, Nashville, Islanders, Vancouver, St. Louis. Those are 5 good ones. This is maybe this upcoming week. I would keep that kid line together and see if they can figure it out through this little bit. Maybe some favorable matchups here and there. Who knows? And see what they can do with that at the end of the day. Borges Bankroll sucks. Also, Dre had an excellent chirp. That was good. Well, maybe not chirp, but he said, if the Oilers can't win 3 games in a row, you can't win a 3-leg parlay, Bordsy. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. And then Bo, this is a good point. He says Rosie passing so much on that line, which is a little bit, that's, I think, that feeling out process of finding your new line mates. We know Ike Howard, he is by definition a true trigger man, but Roslovic, think back to when he was on Leon Draisaitl's wing. He was the trigger man, ripping pucks. The moment they're on his stick, it was back off of his stick. So it does feel like a little bit of a change in role for Roslovic, as he's going to have to be that puck carrier, play driver, puck transporter, all those things, and give him time. Those 3, Howard, Roslovic, Savoy, are incredibly offensive skilled players, high hockey IQs. I think they'll figure it out and find a way, but I would say, honestly, tonight, maybe definitely I don't want to use the word setback, but it was a step backwards from what we've seen in the last couple games.
One more thing on that line. One more thing on that line really quickly, too, if you don't mind me jumping in. Still, really small sample size. 3 games here? They've played 23 minutes at 5-on-5 together. They've outshot the opposition 16-7. That's great to see. They've controlled 76% of the expected goal share. That's great to see. The biggest problem is they've been outscored 2-0. 2 goals against on 7 shots on goal. That's a 714 on ice save percentage when those 3 guys are out there, right? So, the luck has not bounced their way here so far, but there's been some really good things that we've seen from them. I think when we look at these last couple of games, I think just another reason why you got to keep these guys together for now.
I also mentioned it on pre-gaming. I don't want to entirely put it on Calvin Pickard, but those 2 goals that line was on the ice for in their last game Thursday are 1,000% on Calvin Pickard, and goals that just simply should never be allowed. But at the end of the day, stats are stats. Stats are facts. Facts are stats. And hey, you're hearing from us, folks. You see it up at the top of the YouTube chat there, the ONAD voicemail line. I'm excited to hear from you folks. Win, lose, or draw for the entirety of the rest of the season. It's beautiful. I didn't even know if Zach was going to be able to join me this evening, and I said, fuck it. I got the chat with me. I got some voicemails, so I'm excited to get a listen to some of these. Brett, how many of them do we have?
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
nice.
And 2 of them are from Austin.
Extra nice. Okay.
Naturally, of course. All right, so I'm gonna start off. You know what? We normally end with Austin. Let's listen to Austin first. Let's hear what Austin has to say about tonight's game.
Hey, my beautiful ON fam. This is just Austin coming at you once again from Elford, BC. Just a quick few things. First of all, you know me. I live my life on very simple principles. Through the store walks the heart of a champion. Second of all of my fuel is shotgunnable. Third of all, and this is going out to LA fans here. Where's your fucking crown? Because guess what? We live in your head rent fucking free, baby, and we're here all day.
That maniacal Joker laugh. You know what? You didn't have me first bit. We also should maybe put Austin's in 2x speed. Let's get to the point that we're trying to get to. But he saved it all at the end of the day with that. All right, Brett, what else we got? Austin, thank you. Fuck LA. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, hell yeah. All right, on to the next one. This is from Abdi Aziz.
What's going on, boys? I can't fault the guy too much. He's on an absolute heater, but I feel like McDavid passed up a couple times where he could have buried a shot for a goal. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I could agree with that. And I mean, at the end of the day, you look at it, Connor McDavid finishes with 5 shots in this hockey game, which maybe not during like this current run of Connor McDavid. It's funny. It's crazy to say that 5 shots is way down compared to what we've been seeing for the last little bit. And I think we might only feel this way because we've seen such a shot first mentality from McDavid recently. At the end of the day, the man knows how to score goals. He is a sniper deep down, but I think super deep down, McDavid is a playmaker, guy that by his nature tries to get others involved and in the game. And same as I said about Leon Draisaitl before, I'm going to have a really hard time sitting here telling 97 or 29 how to play hockey, but I definitely am picking up what you're laying down. There was some moments where you just want McDavid to kind of drive it to the hoop. Now, he still did do that in a couple specific examples, but yes, it maybe wasn't as much as we've seen in the last couple games. Brett, who else we got?
Actually, these next final two, are both anonymous.
Anonymous.
Hey guys, it's your pal Croak here. Just wanted to call in and say cup year and play La Pampa, baby.
Cup, yeah.
Cup, yeah.
Is that Joe Swanson?
That sounded like
That
Joe
was
Swanson.
very good, Joe Swanson.
Shout out David Putty. The
Hey.
Devils. The Devils. I'm a huge Seinfeld guy as well. I forget. What's that guy's real name?
I thought that was his real name. Oh my God, it's going to kill me. I know what it is.
Patrick Warburton.
Damn it.
Patrick Warburton.
Have you
That's
guys seen
David
the
Putty to you,
video?
folks.
Have you guys seen the video of Patrick Warburton and his sons going to a recording studio and doing like Joe quotes? It's
No,
hilarious.
but I know what I'm Googling later.
Yeah, it's so funny. So funny.
I love how that brought us onto a Joe Swanson
Also,
conversation.
if you guys want to if you could send me in AI celebrity voices, you want to put your voices in voice modulators, make yourself Satan like Bag Milk used to do. I'll
Oh
hear
my
it.
God. I
I'll
was
listen
like,
to it.
what are you talking about? Alrighty. And the final one is once again anonymous.
What up, Oilers Nation? What up, Orzi? Brett, Tristan, shout out Tristan. Brett, I just wanted to say you look so handsome in your Blue Jays jersey today. You know, swap allegiances, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. Hey, I love the Toronto Blue Jays when the Blue Jays are playing well.
Please, both sides.
When the Blue Jays are playing well, that means baseball in Canada is doing well, and that's all I care about. I genuinely, it's funny. I got emotional about this I think last night, where I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, how cool is it that kids are gonna grow up wanting to be Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Bo Bichette, Alejandro Kirk. Bitch, I was 5'8", 300 pounds. Imagine if he was in the MLB when I was in high school. Motherfucker, we had Prince Fielder,
Yeah.
and he's like 6'2". I didn't have manuscripts like this guy. I'm so happy for this next generation. But thank you. I appreciate. I believe that was Dre. I don't know who it was.
As he puts in the chat,
Yeah.
that last voicemail was probably a fucking loser. I could pick out Dre's voice now. I could pick it out of a lineup because it almost sounded like a Joe Swanson voice. It's so deep. It's so manly, and we appreciate it. Brett, that's it.
That's it. That's all.
That's it. That's all, folks. That'll do it for Oilers Nation After Dark, celebrating a Bears win, mourning an Oilers loss. That they do get the loser point in as they fall 4-3 to the Los Angeles Kings in their first of 3 matchups this season. As Zachary, don't watch the Oilers highlights. Go watch the second half highlights of Caleb Williams and the Bears.
Bears.
Doubles. Shout out SNL. Shout out Chris Farley. Shout out everybody in the chat. Zach, thank you for joining. Brett, bang up job behind the scenes. Intern Tristan doing awesome work yet again. 3 games he's been with us. 3 games. He's been an absolute asset to the team, and we are happy to have him. Throw down your courtesy like. Make sure you are subscribed. Should I keep talking so Zach has to hold his hand up there for a salute? Nah, just kidding. Over and out. We love you all. Talk again on Monday.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you enjoyed today's episode of Oilers Nation Every Day, make sure you hit the subscribe button here on our YouTube to not miss any of our content. We got you covered from interviews, insight, analysis, everything you need to stay up to date on everything around the team. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video.